money in economics. I love talking about money rather than having it. We're going to explore why money must be scarce, and teachers are specialists in this topic. So, without further ado, first we need to understand why money is actually important. And without money, what would people actually do? They would have to barter. This would mean you'd have to trade your belongings directly. It could mean trading a potato for Wi Fi use. But anyway, there's a problem with this barter system. Firstly, what's the rate of exchange? How do people know how much of each item to trade? How many potatoes for a skateboard? Both might have different ideas about that. Next, how do we actually find a person to swap with? We need something called a double coincidence of wants. That person must want what you have, and you must want what they have. If I want to give my potatoes away for a skateboard, and the skateboarder doesn't want potatoes, it's game over for us both, isn't it? Unless I find somebody else to trade with, then it gets really, really complicated. Finally, how can you save these items? Potatoes go bad pretty quickly. So money fixes all these problems. It gives us a rate of exchange, both people want it, and you can actually save it and hold on to it. So let's have a look at the characteristics and functions of money in more detail in economics. The first function, a medium of exchange. It needs to be accepted by everybody. So in this example, instead of swapping bread directly for steak, we can swap bread for money, the steak goes for money, and we're all happy with that medium of exchange. Next, a store of value. Generally, money stores value over time unless you have the dreaded inflation. In which case, if you put your money in the bank without any interest, it's like leaving an ice cream in the sun or being on a teacher's salary. It disappears. Next, a unit of account. In the most simple way, this just means we have a value for everything. So you can see here, $500 for this phone. We know roughly that 2 of these phones equals 1 of these phones. Very, very useful. Or 1 hour of private teaching is worth roughly an egg. And finally, a standard for deferred payments. This means you can take a loan out and you can pay it back slowly. Out of all the areas of teacher expertise, I expect this is the strongest. All right, so to quickly tie these up, medium of exchange, store of value, unit of account, and standard for deferred payments. Next, now we need to look at the 5 characteristics of money. Acceptable, durable, portable, divisible, and scarce. Let's get into it. So, acceptable. People must be willing to receive it. Unlike my economics worksheets, which I have to fight for my students to accept. Next, durable. It must not break, like half the teacher's psyches throughout the year. It must suffer the wear and tear. Money actually survives in wash machines, which is a really, really useful trait. Next, portable. You've got to be able to carry it around. It's got to be much easier to carry around than the weight of existentialism. 4, divisible. You got to divide it. You got to split it. Think about a dollar. It can be split all the way down to 100 cents. And finally, scarcity. It must be rare or not seen often. Much like my hairline, which is slowly becoming a myth. All right, so let's put all this together then. So if I put this on a list and separate them, we've got characteristics at the top and functions at the bottom. For a quick exercise, can you think about whether Bitcoin fulfills any of these characteristics? Acceptable, durable, portable, divisible, scarce. All right, that's enough for me talking about money. I'm going to sign out before my dignity depreciates any further. May your money be stable and your bartering attempts significantly better than mine. Have a great day, and I'll see you again.